Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Imran Datoo, and I'm a pharmacist by profession. I studied at Aston University, which is in Birmingham, for 4 years, which was a master's degree. So I attained a master's in the pharmacy degree, alhamdulillah, and I'm currently in my pre-registration year, which is nearly finishing. So inshallah I will be a qualified pharmacist soon. And uni years, alhamdulillah, was good in terms of we had the Ahlul Bayt Society over there as well at Aston, which actually helps you a lot through your career as well, because of the support you get from the fellow Shia in the society and the other friends at university as well. Yes, I'm 23 years of age as well and working at the moment. So I mean, when I was studying in school, so A-levels and GCSE, of course I had a lot of support from my family members, always encouraging us to study more. So when in A-levels, my favorite subjects were maths and chemistry. I always really used to enjoy getting the calculations correct and things like that. So and I realized that pharmacy is a career which inculcates both these components, maths and chemistry, in a very high degree. And so I thought it would be a good career path for me to go to. And so alhamdulillah, with Allah's help and the blessings of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, after the A-levels I got into the University of Aston in order to do this degree. One thing that actually helped me quite a lot during my A-levels was Ziyarat Ashura. And I know you hear a lot of people talking about the Ziyarat, how powerful it actually is. But you only believe it once you actually experience it, So I for getting into Aston University, Aston University asked me to get the grades which before I hadn't actually gotten, So it was a difficult task for me. So this ziyarah I did, continuously during my exam period, with, and the niyat, the intention you have when reciting this has to be very sincere. You have to be doing it for the sake of Allah, so you're bettering your knowledge for the sake of Allah. And it truly was a miracle, honestly. It was, you feel it yourself, like the grades that I came up with, I really did not expect to get those. So anyone who is actually watching and who does want to get into university or achieve something that they feel is not possible, honestly, Ziyarat Ashura is something I would recommend, and it really personally helped me, along with all the other support I got from family, etc. So that's the career side for me. That's how I got into my university, and alhamdulillah qualified. I think, as you also mentioned, I also recite, I do the dhikr of Ahlul Bayt in the best of my ability, with whichever ability I have been gifted with. And I think it's very important that if you do have a gift of some sort, if you do have a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, use it in the right way. Being a Muslim in the West, it's very easy to get to stray away from the path. It's very, very easy. There's so many distractions that are around, but it's important, to stay on the right path and to actually do the dhikr with, to get closer to your Lord, to get closer to the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And I've been reciting since I'm 7 years old. In fact, my brother also recites with me. Alhamdulillah, our parents, both, mashallah, have good voices, so they've trained us since we were little. And because we used to live in Muscat in Oman, in the Middle East, and so we used to recite from there at a very young age, and slowly, until today, alhamdulillah, developing with the help of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And whenever you do recite, whenever you do, whether it is your lectures you do, whether it's dua, you recite dua kumail, surah yasin in the mosque, or whether it is the qasida, nawha, latmiya, it's very important to have a very clean intention. Your intention has to be, that whatever you're reciting has to be for, the sake of the Ahlul Bayt, for the sake of Allah. That's it. And then whatever the worldly wishes you may have, they will give. They will give. There's no doubt. You have a clean intention, then your respect, your izzah in the whole world will, inshallah, carry on increasing. So so that's how I got into the reciting, and it's a passion of mine. Even if you ask my parents, every second of the day I'll be reciting something or the other, because it's just that passion that you have, that you want to be able to convey this message in as many ways as possible, you know. And if people don't understand, because I specialize in reciting in Urdu, in the Urdu language, and I think now what I'm going to embark on, inshallah, is I know that a lot of people are not aware of the Urdu language and don't always understand it. So reciting maybe with a PowerPoint in the background with the translations to actually engage the audience as well is probably something I also embark on doing next, inshallah.
मुझे पास बुला लो, मुझे प्यास सताती है, ऐ माँ तुम मुझे पास बुला लो, मुझे प्यास सताती है। तुरबत से अली असगर की, तुरबत से अली असगर की आवाज़ ये आती है।
Okay, so in the Middle East, it was at that time it was very easy because we were very young, so we were free all the time. You know, we didn't have any commitments as such. So, but I mean, as we grown, as like myself, as I've grown older, and you know, developed the voice more and more, and alhamdulillah, and once you come into the UK, it's not only the work that also will influence how you recite or what you recite, because the schools you go to here, you know, they're all they're British-based schools. So there are people from different cultures who find, you know, reciting like Latmiya, Qasida and everything a very strange thing. So, and if you have YouTube, videos on YouTube, things like that, you know, there have been times where I've been faced with negative attention from them as well, like, you know, oh, why'd you do it, you know, and so many questions that at a younger age I was unable to answer because I didn't have that much knowledge, you know, as to, you know, why I'm reciting and, you know, what the purpose is. Because at that young age you just recite, you know, you've been put into it, you develop, etc., etc. So again, now during those times there are a chance where you can be put off, where you can, you know, close that chapter of your life and be like, no, I actually don't want to recite anymore. I'm getting too much negative, you know, feedback from everyone. But again, it's your intention, you know, it's your niyat. If it's khulus, you're doing it with a clean heart, and you know, you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam to you know, give you the ability to just carry on and, you know, like pass through all these negative feedbacks that come to you. So that phase is something that you have to overcome. You know, it's all about the passion, it's all about the iman that you have with the Ahlul Bayt and the connection that you have. So alhamdulillah, that was something I faced, but alhamdulillah, you know, it was okay. It wasn't a big deal, like, because I knew what I was doing and I knew why I was doing it, you know. When it comes to, and now alhamdulillah, like as I've developed more and more, the invitations, like you said, you do get invited to different places, like you know, different cities have different events. The Ahlul Bayt societies, especially from different areas like London, Birmingham, Leicester, their invitations are there. Even the Jamaats like Leicester Jamaat, Birmingham, and all over the country really, in London, the South, etc. Invitations are there, but not always is it possible to reach those because of the commitments we already have. Because now I'm working, you know, a 9 to 6 job, and events usually start at 7:30. So it's very difficult for me to, you know, come back from work, get ready, and then go and make it on time. And you know, you don't want to say yes to someone and then let them down. So in those cases, you kind of have to say, look, I apologize. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it because of this. But in most cases, alhamdulillah, like the line of work I'm in, I do make my, inshallah, after I qualify, I'll be making my own bookings in terms of pharmacy and everything. So if I have enough notice about the places to reside and everything, you know, maybe I won't book that day as a work or anything. So it can be tough. It can be tough, but you know, like they say, where there is a will, there is a way. But of course, you can't make every single invitation, but you try your best, because the aim is at the end of the day to spread the message of the Ahlul Bayt to as many people as you can, in whatever way you can, in whatever little way that I can, I try.
मदीना दिल में है, मदीना दिल में है, उसकी बहार आँखों में बसा है यादें, मोहम्मद का प्यार आँखों में। और मैं कैसे नाते नबी में न उनका जिक्र करूं, मैं कैसे नाते नबी में न उनका जिक्र करूं, बसे है दोशे नबी के सवार आँखों में, बसे है दोशे नबी के सवार आँखों में, मदीना दिल में है।
I think in terms of it being easy, during school, like A-level GCSE, it's again, it's a very different phase of life, because over there, depending again what school you went to, because the school I went to was a very British-based school. So in terms of prayer times, it was very difficult for me to actually go somewhere and pray, because they would find it very strange, So, but as in terms of being successful, I think religion is extremely important. I can't emphasize that enough. Having that, that faith in Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, that whatever you do, if you do it with the intention of pleasing your Lord, in the intention of getting closer to your Lord, and you're learning all this knowledge for the sake of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, you will go far further than you would have if you're not as religious. In my personal opinion. Like you hear things like there's a'mal to do, if you do this dua, your wish will come true, and something like that can be taken so lightly by people, like it's only a dua, how is it gonna make me go get my grades, or get me this job, etc. But that's where you've lost your faith, that's where you've lost that iman in so Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, that you're questioning Allah, and which is wrong, because even if it's a small dua, which in narrations has said no, this if you do it with a clean heart, it will give you your wishes. So it's all about having that faith, and knowing that Allah is there looking out for you, and not actually thinking that no, this dua is so small, it's not significant enough. Everything, you have faith, you will go very far. So yeah, I think with being successful, religion is very, very important. In university as well, especially like in university, being in the Ahlul Bayt Society, like in my final year, I was the president of the Aston University Ahlul Bayt Society, and the amount of negativity you get, and not from the other cultures, but within the Muslim cultures itself, like you have the other sects of Muslims who give you a lot of trouble, whether it comes to, speaking about Imam Ali, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, about Karbala. We have the Ashura Awareness Week in university, which I remember quite clearly. We had a lot of people from the other Muslims school of thought come up to us and, telling us, you're doing bid'ah, how can you, pray to Imam Hussein, Imam Ali alayhi salam. And we try to explain to them, look, we are just doing tawassul, it's just asking Imam Hussein, for example, to ask Allah on our behalf, just for that dua to reach faster maybe. Who are we to know, So, but it's it's things like that. You really have to have faith in order to be able to answer them in whatever they're kind of challenging you with. And it is this whole university life that you're going through. So if you were very weak and you got, once these guys attacked you and then you feel really weakened, it might really put you off the whole university idea, which would maybe not lead you to get your degree. It for some people it could be the smallest of things that could actually put them off. But it's having faith, praying your salah, fasting, etc. These smallest of the wajib act, that increases your iman, that keeps you on that straight path. Being aware of namaz time, salah time, example, a small thing. In university, you have a lecture, it can be forgotten easily. You can pray qaza. You say it's okay one day. But we had people in my university lecture who would actually step out of the room and pray in the corridor. Now this is proper faith. This is iman. You actually have, that Allah is there. He's watching you. And it's being close to Allah. It's having the faith and being religious that will get you through your university degree and get you to be successful 100%. One of the things I've done, like you said, with the Aston University, I was president of the Ahlul Bayt Society, and one of the things we do there on 1 week is the Ashura Awareness Week. And this gives the opportunity for a lot of the Shia to actually come to the stall we have, and even because you have people who are not 100% strong in their faith, so this could be a platform for them to actually learn about Ashura properly, about who Imam Hussein was. There's a great campaign that's going on, whoishussein.org. Website I recommend everyone to visit. And this is what we were advertising on that day as well. So a lot of people could actually come, look at what the web. We were giving away free bottles of water as well to the community, so they could actually take the bottle of water, and then the label around the bottle was the whoishussein.org website, which we were promoting. So inshallah, hopefully a lot of the people went on there, even the Shia, and actually gained more information about who Imam Hussein alayhi salam was. Because this man, we will never know how great he was. We will never be able to comprehend the status of this man. But whatever we can, whatever our mind is able to comprehend, inshallah the website can give that information to them. Also with an Ashura in the Peterborough Jamaat itself, when they take out a julus, a procession in the town centre, we always have leaflets distributing, to the locals basically, who are wondering what's going on. Why are people dressed in black? Why are people, mourning, not in a very happy state? So I myself volunteer as a marshal as well, and so we wear the fluorescent jackets and we give out the leaflets to everyone. And some people actually do ask us personally, what are you guys doing? Which gives us the opportunity to actually talk to them in person and give them that humble approach that we've been taught by our religion, and explain to them as to what exactly we are doing and who Imam Hussein was very briefly, so they get an idea. So that's something else I do as well. And also, again, like you mentioned, the recitation of Qasida, etc. So recently the Leicester Ahlul Bayt Societies, as well as the Aston and Birmingham universities, organised a Milad al-Nabi event. And they invited me, alhamdulillah. It was an honor to be part of that event, Alhamdulillah, they invited me to recite in the Urdu language. So again, I see that as a contribution to the Shia community, again, spreading the message and helping in whichever way we can, in any way an opportunity comes. I don't think we should, step away from that opportunity, because it's sawab, opportunity to get sawab, you should go for it. In terms of greatest achievements, I think, the end goal of life is, to gain that taqwa, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to, do all your wajibat, because we're human, we're not perfect, we will be slipping here and there. So the end aim is to, get closer. In terms of worldly achievements, if you like, again, achieving that degree was, when I was in A-levels 4 years ago, it's like a mountain to climb. But the time goes very fast, and alhamdulillah, with the help again of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, I've able to get a degree, and inshallah after June I'll be qualified as a full pharmacist. So that will be one. And reciting, again, this reciting of mine is a very big passion of mine, it means so much to me to be able, alhamdulillah, I'm so thankful to have a gift, let's say, to be able to spread the message in my own way. Whatever I can. And I think it was like 2-3 years ago where I actually started developing my voice a little bit more, because nowadays the society, how it is, they like to listen to something nice as well, and then they will take it in. We do this with lecturers as well. All lecturers, with all due respect, they have so much knowledge that we can't, they've studied, mashallah. But nowadays it's come to a thing where if someone has good oratory power, who speaks well, you're automatically engaged, so you will listen more. So it's and even same thing with qasida, And if someone recites nicely, the crowd will be more attentive and will listen. So that also has been one of my aims, to actually try and develop my voice as much as I can to whichever ability I have, in order to make it better. And there are many ways to also spread the message. So for example, at this Leicester Ahlul Bayt Society Milad, the translations that I had in the background was a first time thing for me. So but I think now, after doing that, I think it was I got a good response. A lot of people were very happy about the fact that I did that, and it helped them actually understand that qasida much more. So now I might be doing that much more wherever else I recite, inshallah. I think it's something that will help the community understand the qasida a lot better. Ambition, again, the end goal is to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so much so that you don't fear death. This is one thing, we fear death so much because we are not ready at the moment. We're not ready, we commit sin, we too many sins, in my opinion, but in the end aim is to get closer to Allah and be ready to leave this earth when He calls you, with full confidence that you will have worshipped Him in the way that He wanted you to. But again, in the worldly phase, the aims are, inshallah, after June, qualify as a full pharmacist, then settle down, inshallah, whenever the time is right, with the family, look after my parents now, because, after all, the parents have done so much for you in your, they've brought you up, and they've made us the person that we are today. And the least we can do, which is not even going to be achieving anything compared to what they have done for us, but the least we can do is look after them as well, because now in their old age they will need us, and we have to be there. So so I guess that's the next aim in life, inshallah. I think one of the key things for the young ones, so I'm talking GCSE, A-level students, really at the prime of your teenage life, and you guys are all over the place at the moment, and when it comes to your life, social life, you have to divide your life up into certain categories. So you'll have your social life, you will have your educational school life, and you will have your life at home with the family and your community life at the mosque. The balance has to be very important. It's a very key aspect. The balance has to be very important, but putting more focus on your community and your parents and family at home. Listen to your parents. This is one advice I will give. I have learnt this myself. When I was young as well, there were things where, my parents said something, and being a teenager, you're like, nah, I know what I'm doing. But you learn later on in life, you go and you learn that your parents were 100% right. So listen to your parents, because what advice will they give you? They will tell you to pray your namaz, they will tell you to fast, they will tell you not to lie, not to do ghiba, etc., etc. And they are right. Praying salah is very, very important. The reason salah is there 5 times a day for us is to make sure that we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 5 times a day. And if you remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 5 times a day, you won't do any sin. Technically speaking, if you have that fear of Allah, that He's watching you, Fajr, you get up, you pray, you will think, right, why don't I just recite some Quran to accompany my prayers, right? And then during the day you'll be thinking, thinking good things, because you've prayed Fajr namaz. Why do you want to commit any sin to kind of wash those sawab away? Then Zuhr will come, Asr will come. You'll have the thought of Allah, the fear of Allah in your mind. So definitely pray on namaz, and wajibat, make sure always stick to your wajibat. And now distractions in the West, I can't, there's a whole list, I can go on forever. Distractions are plentiful, but it's very important now, and it's very easy to fall in traps of them. I myself have, when you're younger, it's just something that you do. For example, music. It's very easy, very easy. It's all around us. Wherever we go, into shops, in the town, on TV, the adverts, everything has music. You'll be like, oh, I like the sound of that. Let me go onto YouTube, see what actually that song is, and then you'll start listening. So it's something you really have to. It takes a lot of willpower and takes a lot of faith to actually not to be able to do that. But if you keep up your wajibat, if you keep up your namaz, your fast, listening to your parents, not lying, especially not to lie. I think there was an incident as well, a man in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time actually went to him and he said, I'm committing so many sins, this. How do I stop? Prophet said one thing to him. He said, stop lying. Because you stop lying, so for example, if you want to listen to music, but then you remember, if someone asks me, did you listen to music? You can't lie. So with that, you'll feel a bit ashamed. So then that will automatically protect you from doing that sin, So lying again is a big thing. We take it so lightly nowadays, like, oh no, it's okay, he won't find out, we'll just say this, it's okay. But it isn't really, because you're committing sin. Lying is actually a gunah kabira, it's a very big sin. So we have to be careful of that as well. So yeah, I'd advise the youth to, do your wajibat 100%. Listen to your parents, very important. Listen to your parents and, avoid lying at all costs. Then inshallah your life will straighten up. ہم حسین والے ہیں ہم حسین والے ہیں ہم حسین والے ہیں ہم حسین والے ہیں یہ ہماری قسمت ہے ہم حسین والے ہیں ہم حسین والے ہیں ہم حسین والے ہیں ہم سے فاطمہ زہرا کر چکی ہے ایک وعدہ ہم سے فاطمہ زہرا کر چکی ہے ایک وعدہ اب ہماری جنت ہے ہم حسین والے ہیں اب ہماری جنت ہے ہم حسین والے ہیں ہم حسین والے ہیں ہم حسین والے ہیں